There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true.
Yo, everyone. It's time. It's that time of the week. We're back for another episode of the Yonkō Table. I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, and this week we're pondering the question, what if Ultron won? And I can tell you guys right now, this is probably up there with the episode 2, the T'Challa episode, at least for me. But we'll get into the nitty gritty as we move along, because this episode, there's a lot to deep dive into. But with me, as always, is fellow Yonkō GrandMasterHoop. Grandmaster, has your day been well? How has the day been so far?
My day's fine. I'm cool. I'm fine. It's fine.
Are you trying to convince yourself or me?
Listen, I walked away with more money today than I needed. So that's a win for me. I'm okay. I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you for asking, Dr. Jace.
Anything that makes the wallet fatter, we're all good.
Right. We'll take it.
And with us as well is fellow Supernova Kame Chris. Kame Chris, 2 days in a row, 2 episodes in a row. You've been in. What is going on, man?
I mean, I was able to watch the What If episode on lunch today, so I was like, oh, I guess I can join in today, and I'm not going to the gym. And then you pushed it back, so I was like, okay, I'll definitely make it. So
all right.
I told myself that I'll try my best to make this one, because after watching that, I was like, okay, we got to talk about this.
It was intense. It was intense.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. All right, yeah, let's dive deep. We're in the end game now of What If. I would say it's practically an end game.
It's an end game scenario for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Story to tell all.
This was episode 8 of the 9 episodes we have of What If. So this episode was in a way supposed to get us prepped up for the finale, but I'll be honest, in a lot of ways, they could have ended it here. I think I would have been satisfied as an ending. I don't know what you guys thought. Like, what were your expectations coming in? Because like the first week, or I'm sorry, at the beginning of the week, I didn't even know this episode was going to be Ultron related. But then once we got the title drop, I'm like, okay, this is the Ultron episode, so it should be interesting. I mean, come on, it's Ultron with the Infinity Stones. If they don't go all out, I mean. You guys failed. I
feel the whole time we always thought it was Vision looking at the promotional images.
Yeah,
we always thought it was Vision, but it's Ultron.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
Did anyone else? I always thought it was Vision.
Yeah,
Wait,
I thought it was going to
mean-
be like a What If Vision, like something.
Yeah,
that's what I assumed. And then it was Ultron. I was like, I think I could figure out what was going on. So that's why I was like so quick to watch it too. I was like, oh, I think it's going to be pretty.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I did not see what transpired happening here, and I mean we'll get into it, but I don't know. I just I guess anybody who acquires all 6 stones is probably going to leave a huge impact on their universe, and I guess the whole time I thought it was going to be Vision, but now that it's Ultron, I definitely had the assumption that everything's probably going to go to shit. You know.
Right.
Ultron is, I mean, for less where I don't know how to describe a robot with no feelings, but he's crazy. He's a crazy robot, and now he's got the ultimate power. So where do you go from here? What does he do? Well, I think they told us what someone like that would do, and here we are.
We're in you could call it the true age of Ultron, because I could tell you right now, Age of Ultron the movie did not feel like an age. It felt like
felt like
a couple
period.
days.
Felt like a battle, the Battle of Ultron.
Someone made a meme. They were like, that was like a week.
Tops. I'm literally in my Marvel rewatch. I'm on Age of Ultron right now, and I'm getting myself ready for disappointment because I remember disliking this movie you know, back on my initial watch. Maybe my mind might change, but I remember one of the biggest things I had with this is like that title. You call it Age of Ultron. I'm expecting a long sequence of events, but like we said, it's just a week. But in this scenario, this is an Age of Ultron. This is what, like, do we want to assume like probably a couple years or something like that have transpired from like when humanity fell to where we are currently, with Natasha and Hawkeye.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say maybe like a couple year or 5 down the line from where they left off from the movie, because he, you know, picks up right during that scene in the movie, and I guess they just automatically lost. But yeah, I think it's safe to assume it's a couple of years for sure.
And actually, because I haven't finished Age of Ultron yet during my rewatch, but like at what point did the timeline like split? You know, like, is it
where the what if takes place?
Right, in the movie. So like what if Ultron what
so Ultron's trying to put himself in the cradle. Right?
And that was in the movie.
That's in the movie. And the cradle was just like living artificial tissue, which is, it's basically creating vision.
Okay.
And
it was like pretty much during the fight, right? Like it was like
they were in Korea. And what happened was he was uploading to the body, but then Captain America, Hawkeye, and Black Widow showed up and they stopped the upload midway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially this episode is saying, what if the upload never stopped and he actually did upload? Because he had already put the Mind Stone in the cradle. So he was ready to fuse with the Mind Stone. He was ready. And so now in the what if scenario, he succeeded. And he got his perfect body, and I guess everything else that comes with that, which is just, I guess, I mean, they didn't show how he won, right? He just killed everybody.
I mean, they showed that little room. He like emitted like a blast from his body, and I saw Tony die, but
I saw Tony die, right?
Yeah, everybody was just on the floor.
Right. And they've just pretty much moved on from there. What happens next? Thanos.
Yeah, out of like random, very like quick.
Very quick. Yeah, and this is, I mean, I really, really like this episode, but this is one of the points where I had a major problem with. Because what happens, Kame Chris? Like what? Well, so what? Thanos shows up. He has 5.
He has all the stones except the mind one, obviously.
Right? That's right. He had them
and then he comes through a portal out of nowhere. He just
doesn't say anything.
Yeah, like Ultron just won. Like, I don't know if he may have, like, maybe there was a time skip and they threw that little cutscene or whatever just happened. But yeah, he comes out of nowhere and just Ultron just zoom.
Right down the middle like a Subway sandwich. I know.
Like literally just cuts him right in half, when I feel like that was kind of over exaggeration, maybe, because I'm like, there's no way, like it should. I don't like, if in theory, if the Avengers, all of them could not beat Thanos with the glove like that, I don't think Ultron, even with the Vision's body, should not have been that quick. Like,
not that easy. I mean, it's like 5 Infinity Stones, and I mean, I'm maybe a part of it. And again, this is me creating my own headcanon to explain why that even happened. Maybe, because Thanos has a bit of an ego. Maybe he went in expecting some drawn out like conversation with Vision to be like, hey man, I'm here to take that stone because I'm gonna snap away the universe. But Vision wasn't having it. Maybe he caught Thanos off guard. And he's like, dude, I'm not talking to you. And then boom, like
it's Ultron. So, Ultron
to
the point. Computer
to the point.
Quick. Yeah.
He's got that program. And he's like, oh, humans brought on all this chaos. So I need to be rid of humans and anything else that comes with the chaos, including this dude. But he did it out of interest. He looked at the gauntlet and he was like,
interesting.
Interesting.
But I think he, like, it's funny that he thought that was interesting when he has a Mind Stone in his head. So he should have kind of, I guess, may have had an idea of like, oh, those look very familiar in a way, and just I don't know. I guess I feel like he should have already known about it. If he put the Mind Stone in Vision himself anyway, like how do you not know about everything else?
In the MCU, is Vision aware of like what's in his head without anyone telling him? Or
I will say this: there's a line in Infinity War where Vision is talking about the Mind Stone to Scarlet Witch, whatever her name is, Wanda. Sorry,
Wanda. Yeah.
And in that dialogue, he really doesn't know what's going on. He's like, all I know is this has given me life, and this gave you your powers, and that's all he really knows. So I guess the Mind Stone doesn't give you infinite knowledge of the other stones. So
well, I was referring to Ultron. Like, I would say he's the one that put it in there. So I would, I mean, Vision's kind of like Frankenstein in a way. So like Ultron he literally
he's totally Frankenstein.
Yeah. So he just like kind of put himself into the Vision. So I assumed that Ultron like had an idea. So he was like interesting, and just the way he like immediately knew how to use them. Like he was just like, it's a part of me. I'm making
he just fused them into his flesh, or I guess it's robot flesh, but
yeah, he like recreated his like old body like as armor and then like put them in there. I'm like, oh, how did you know how to do that?
Which I think was really cool. That's a really cool design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And like
hello, who is this? Joining us? Is this another supernova on deck? Were you hiding below the starboard? Who's this?
This is Ray. It's so nice to hear from you guys again.
Supernova Ray.
Supernova Ray. And to your point, I think there's some contrast between Vision and Ultron. You know, Vision wasn't really trying to, I guess Vision really didn't have a purpose when he got the Mind Stone. You know?
Right.
Like,
right.
I feel like Ultron was more driven. He has something in his head and he's like, I want to figure out what I could do with it. You know, I want to explore it. Whereas Vision's first instinct was, I don't know who I am, but I want to do what's right. You know, Ultron in his head's like, I need to destroy. I have something in my head that lets me destroy it. Let me find out how I can destroy everything.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I mean, he pretty much does that.
Oh my gosh, he destroys
beyond
everything.
Everything. I mean, like, some of them, I feel like this is more of a fault of What If in general than the episode itself. But these episodes need to be, for something like this, this needs to be longer. You can't convince me Vision not one-shotted Asgard, like with no resistance whatsoever. Like, yeah, I get it. He has the Infinity Stones, but homie's planet busting. He's planet busting everything in seconds.
I mean that too, but like, do you guys remember the clips of the Celestials?
And Guardians of the Galaxy? Yeah.
The guy literally stomped his stick to the ground. Now I forgot the guy's name, the Celestial's name, but he one stomp wiped out the
Power Stone, right?
Yeah. Vision. I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but Ultron used the purple to do the same thing, and Asgard's not that big.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, the Asgardians feared the power of the Infinity Stones. The Infinity Stones at this point, you know, minus everything we learned in Loki, are the highest of power, and even Asgardians, as powerful as they are, feared the power of the Infinity Stones. That's why at the end of Thor: The Dark World, and everybody forgets, they gave away the ether to the Collector. So I guess it would stand to say that maybe he could one-shot Asgard. You know,
I just wanted to see some reactions. I don't know.
I mean, Thanos snap. Like, we got to think about like that snap anyway. Like,
I guess the snap was instantaneous. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was half of humanity.
And that's just what he wanted to do with it. He probably could have done a lot more.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking about not just the Vision's like body, but we're talking about like Ultron like in his mind. So the Vision was kind of like you could say he had to boot up to what he is, I guess you can say now as the Vision, where Ultron was just like straight up like knew exactly how to handle everything. This is already like a very understanding computer of humanity and everything else. So I'm pretty sure him with the Vision's body and the Infinity Stones, like we're talking about like, yeah, we can blow up Asgard. I wouldn't put it past it. Like,
I'm
How do you guys
guessing he
feel about
likely
him?
saw. Oh, go ahead, Ray.
How do you guys feel about him one-shotting Ego?
Who?
That Ego, the living planet, Star
he's-
Lord.
Oh,
He's
from
technically a
Guardians.
He's technically a Celestial. He one-shot killed him. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean,
well,
like-
one, I thought it was just fodder. They're just like, oh, who else can we show Ultron?
yeah, like Control Alt Delete.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I don't know. Ego seems like the weakest of the Celestials. Maybe he's over here like needing Peter Quill's help. If you need Peter Quill's help, that means you can't be all that powerful, right?
He's having a hard time.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm shitting on Peter Quill. I'm sorry.
Well, he's not the first person you would call. Like if you have in the entire Marvel catalog, you're not calling Peter Quill. Like,
Right. Not at all.
But surprisingly, Captain Marvel was able to give a little bit of a pushback. I don't even know what she would. I don't know. Was she taking off his mask in the planet? Like when she like dive bombed into the planet?
I was like, is she like trying to take his head off, or
Yeah,
like
she was
just
going
the
for the
stones
head.
off his face?
Straight for the
Like,
head.
I don't. Yeah, I couldn't understand. was
That's
like,
all I
this
got.
seems
Yeah,
like a
she was going
waste.
for a headshot.
So was Vision like just humor? I'm sorry, was Ultron just like humoring the situation because it looked like he had complete control the entire time because he was like, okay, all right, yeah, no strings attached on me, and then he kept. I'm like, well, you're just having fun then. You're just having fun.
Right. I think he was testing what he could do without the power of the stones, and then he's like, all right, back to my ultimate purpose. And I don't even know what he did there. What did he just blow
He
up?
like self exploded, I guess, in the planet, and that killed the entire solar system.
I was trying to actually figure out too, like, you know how in Death Battle, how they like go into deep detail. I was like trying to do something in my head. I'm like, how strong did they say Captain Marvel was? Because I think they made her to like some crazy, like astronomical strength. They're like, oh, she can't. I mean, like in the last What If, she was like, she couldn't fight too hard, or not, she'd blow the earth up. So I'm like,
no,
so I'm like, wait, so how strong was she supposed to be again? Because when she was fighting Thanos, she had a really good, like, you know, upper hand against him.
She did.
That's the problem with the movies.
Yes, I was gonna say the same thing. These episodes lately have been really going balls to the wall with her power and how there's no roof on it. And
She's
we
basically
didn't
a
get that in the
Superman
movies.
in this
Yeah,
universe.
pretty much.
But we didn't get that in the movies at all. What she was doing to Ultron, imagine if she did that to Thanos. Like, what
just
the hell?
dive bomb him into the core of a planet. I don't think Thanos is surviving.
And yeah, the most she did
Who
in the
knows?
movie was keep him from snapping his fingers, and then still got clocked in the face. I mean, granted, by a power stone, but still.
Right. I think they're having more fun with her powers in What If and really showing like what she can do, because, you know, even before What If, we keep hyping up not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. Like, oh yeah, dude, she was one of those characters that could 1v1 Thanos if she wanted to, also with Scarlet Witch. But I feel like we're really, really getting that in What If. This girl's dangerous. Like,
yeah.
But
I mean, I think that was the whole purpose.
Oh, what? Kame, Chris?
Yeah, it said. I think that was the whole purpose when she was being introduced. And then as far as like I remember when they were announcing the movie as far as Captain Marvel, and I remember everybody was doing like deep dives on her, whatnot, and people were like actually doing like stat comparison of like Superman and Captain Marvel, like, you know, like like to the extremes of it. And I'm like, she's really close. So I don't know if Superman would lose against the Ultron, in the Vision's body with all Infinity Stones. Like, I don't think Superman would have lost in that fight. So if Captain Marvel loses, I'm like, okay, so how far does she really go? And then now that you mentioned Wanda, why didn't they use her? Like, wait, where is she? Like in this episode, she's kind of like top tier.
That's a good point, because I mean, her and Pietro were in Age of Ultron. That was their introduction.
Right.
During that-
So it's like, where is she?
Yeah, during that scene where he's plugged in, they were supposed to be right there. That's when they have their epiphany moment of, oh snap, we're on the wrong side of this.
I
So
guess they
actually,
were
yeah,
taken care of off screen. I'm assuming they're
guess so.
dead.
Yeah.
yeah, they're definitely dead. They're dead.
They have to be.
Yeah,
They
they
have
had
to
to
be.
die
Because-
but I don't know how.
Literally, the only people that survived, I don't know how, was Black Widow and Hawkeye. The least powerful people in the whole catalog of Avengers.
Maybe
By the way,
because
I didn't know those arrows were gonna one shot all those Ultrons. I was really surprised.
those
by the
arrows
very
are
beginning.
powerful.
I was like, oh wait, did that happen in the movie? Because I feel like they're kind of like overdoing his arrows right now.
I feel like it
Just
did happen
for
in
the
the
sake
movie.
of the story.
They're definitely in the movie because what's he gonna be doing in the Age of Ultron movie? Just running around and
His arrows were doing some work. They were doing
Right,
some
right.
good work. I
He
will
was,
say
like,
this.
crashing one into another, you know.
Well, see, the regular Ultron bots were not vibranium, so I guess he's got that going for him. Only Ultron was vibranium.
oh,
So-
that's right.
I guess that's
Fair enough. So
But yeah, they survived.
they survive. So I guess they're like cockroaches because well because I'm thinking like, okay, Vision says that he's done, like the universe is at peace with annihilation, but it's like you forgot these two off in the corner, kind of like they're lower beings like cockroaches. So I mean, in Vision's eyes, he views them probably as cockroaches. But what does Vision do next, right? Honestly, I thought that was hilarious. Where
Oh,
the Watcher, he's
this scene right here in my background, right here.
yes.
He's talking to him. He's like, wait.
No, it looked like he had a mosquito in his ear. That's what he was like.
Who's narrating this?
Right. And the
He
Watcher is like, I guess the Watcher doesn't realize when he's about to catch up with his own narration.
Yeah,
You know?
because he was talking about himself.
He was talking about it. I'm like, dude, you heard that, right? You heard what he said.
Right,
Like-
yeah. He's like, oh shit, he's talking about me.
And then how did Ultron hear him but not the two in the what were they at again, looking for that file?
Oh, they were in Russia.
Yeah,
Oh,
like how do
because
Russia's like on Earth. The Watcher's like multiverses away. How are you like
I'm guessing because that's why I refer to them as cockroaches. But Vision Ultron at this point, his mind is on like, I wouldn't say like, well, I guess it kind of was with the Infinity Stones. It's like on a celestial level. So he's paying more attention to like
Yes.
higher beings, higher order type of stuff. So when he hears something like the Watcher breathing down his shoulder, he's gonna be like, "Bro, who the hell is that?"
No, I
Like,
agree. I agree. That's definitely why he was able to hear it. Just like Dark Strange. Dark Strange got on a higher level of power
Right.
due to his meddling and
I think they were
eating
just
up.
alone. I think they were just extremely powerful.
Well, I mean,
and
yes.
there's no noise. Like
yes, at that point,
I
Right,
think
yeah.
both of them just lived in a universe with literally
all
absolutely
the white
no
noise is gone.
So there's nothing making a sound, and all you hear is just this deep voice just narrating your life. You're like,
who?
wait, now I'm looking around. What is he talking about?
I mean, that's cool though, because at that point, the Watcher is like, he's crapping his pants. He's like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, I hope he doesn't find me.
I'm
and
like,
then-
dude. Oh my
So then he's like, oh my gosh, this is gonna break the multiverse. I gotta do something. So what does he do? He goes and follows Hawkeye and
and
Black Widow. He's like,
Natasha, right?
Yeah,
come on,
That
you're almost
one.
there.
that one.
Yeah, that one. It's right there.
Get it? Come on. What? Why'd you stop? Why'd you stop? You're right there. And
That
the
was
thing is,
really funny. That
I
was,
was
a funny
so
scene.
fucking annoyed. I was like, bro, you get it then.
Right,
but
right.
he
It was
pondered
like-
it. He pondered it because you could say he was asking himself, "What
Fucking
if
A, man.
I helped him?"
Everything is about to be destroyed, and he's like, man, should I help them
The
out?
rules.
I don't fucking know. What?
The
He's like,
rules
the oath.
from the rules from
oath.
Fairly Odd Parents.
The rules, exactly. I think at this point, Ultron hadn't really broken through reality yet. So he was still the Watcher. He was still like, I kind of wanted to. I don't want to break my oath yet. I mean, he can potentially break in and cause chaos, but nothing's happened yet. I think once Ultron started kicking his ass, he started realizing, dude, okay, that oath has got to go, man.
Well, that's the cool thing that was off screen was we saw Ultron breaking through realities. That's why he showed up at the end of Party Thor. Remember when he showed up at the end?
Yeah, that was the ending to Party Thor.
Right.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. That's him looking for the Watcher the whole time.
Was that what that was?
Yeah, that's totally what it's got to be.
That's got to be. That's literally
But how do we not know that's Ultron after the Watcher is away? Now he's alone.
I took it as before. I mean, what business does he have going to Party Thor? If it does happen after, we'll find out next episode. Unless he came to party.
I mean, that was. I mean, I guess it could go either way. It could either be the time, he kind of just kicked the Watcher out, and the Watcher was doing his own thing, or it could just be at the end of the episode where he's like, "Oh, these are all the universes. I got to go cleanse them," and he's going out one by one, cleaning them. And Party Thor was on the list, and he went there, and he's like,
"Too much parties."
Not enough peace. Some call me a terrorist. Oh my god.
You waste your money on natural light. Blasphemy.
And I mean, I thought it was kind of cool that the Watcher was able to put up a fight. I thought he was going to be one of those celestial powers that's like, I'm at the top, but I can't really take a punch or defend myself if someone were to get to my level. He fought back against Ultron he fought all the stones.
He did.
I mean, he's technically like a god.
He should be a higher power than those stones, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is God status. I mean, he's like the Watcher. Like, he has access to all the multiverses, and that's like absolute power. And I don't know if you all remember in the Loki series, what were they called? The
timekeepers.
The timekeepers. Like, I feel like it's that realm. Like, it's just that high of power. Like, I think Ultron getting there just kind of like it is what if. So I think this is just really just what if he like got that powerful and hurt the Watcher all of a sudden, then it gets to the timekeepers, and then all of these series make sense now. I feel like it's just at that level. But remember, they were talking about his will to like wanting to kill. I think he is so like content, or his job was to just not intervene. And him to even be like, oh, this one's like, remember at the very beginning of this one, he's like, oh, and this one saddens me. Like, this one's sad. Like, obviously, like, he's just too much of a sorrow character. But he is very, like, I think he already knew he was powerful, and like, it was kind of like rhetorical how powerful he was. I just think, his personality wasn't going to allow him to be Ultron. Even Ultron said, you didn't have the will to kill me, so. I'm like,
but then he countered that and said, you cannot calculate my will. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's a good line.
It's a good line. He's a computer. He's making fun of him. He's like, you damn machine. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
You think he said, this damn machine, how dare you?
I liked it.
I like it. I like, again, how we keep getting more and more of the Watcher as these episodes went on too.
Right, because
now he's here.
He's part of the story. And I mean, that was, we first kind of got that fourth wall breaking moment with Dark Strange in his episode, because he heard this guy breathing down his neck, and he's like, bro, who's there? I probably can't fight you, but I hear you. What's your deal? And it's just cool to see all that coming together. I know one thing we've been just kind of glossing over, Hawkeye and Black Widow, they were practically the driving force to get this plot moving along at the pace that it did. What they're in Russia and they're trying to find the last AI remnant of the Hydra scientist.
Arnim
from
Zola.
Skynet.
Zola.
I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Who?
Wait, what'd you say?
What'd you say?
Skynet.
Well,
Yes.
what's her name made a joke about Skynet.
Yeah, that's
Captain
pretty funny.
Marvel. Right.
They said, "Oh yeah, remember she's from the '90s. She has to make '90s jokes."
I hate that movie, man. We'll talk about that movie when the time comes.
But I mean, it was cool seeing Zola.
It was.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was definitely one of the things, because I recently watched Winter Soldier, and I was like, is this really the only place this AI was uploaded? Because it's a computer and you left it at an abandoned facility and now it's destroyed. This has to be somewhere else. Like, this has to be. And what if basically said, yes, it is. So maybe in the MCU we might see a Zola. Is it Zola?
A return of Zola.
We might see a return of Zola at some point. Maybe. I don't know.
What if Zola was uploaded elsewhere?
What if he was uploaded elsewhere? I mean, he technically is uploaded elsewhere. This episode kind of confirmed that there's a possibility his AI could be anywhere in the main MCU timeline if, Kevin Feige ever wants to do a Hydra episode, a Hydra movie again.
I don't think he's going back to Hydra.
I don't think he's going back to I think Hydra's done.
Yeah.
For
I
now.
love it.
But yeah, I would too. I would like go back to that. But Zola, it was nice to see him again. Was this the original actor for
Yes.
Zola? It sounded like him. It sounded like
Sound
him.
like the same.
Toby
voice
Jones.
for him.
Toby Jones. That's him.
Toby Jones. I
AKA, he's also Dobby from the Harry Potter franchise.
I didn't know he
Oh.
was a house elf.
I didn't know that.
That's him. Right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's
Cool
So,
stuff.
I just binged that too.
what was the goal in this? They were trying to upload Zola into Ultron.
Into Ultron, and he would be able to, crash him from the inside.
Was there any guarantee that Zola could have just uploaded himself and then just take over Ultron, and now he's?
I mean, that's
The new one?
totally
That's-
a possibility.
I feel like that's something he would do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%. I was like, why are you guys doing this? He's just gonna kill Ultron and take over.
That's what he's gonna do.
He's gonna be like, "You thought you could trust me, Fraulein?"
Oh my god, I was half expecting it, because they did that thing with Hawkeye, shooting the arrow in that Ultron eye, and then they shot out his legs, and I'm like, if this thing was gonna work, if the upload worked, shooting out his legs is not gonna do anything.
Yeah. He would have still held y'all hostage, like, you idiots, because he would have just
Easily.
had all the other Ultrons. Like, I'm like, this is stupid.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what is their end game was. But that's where they get the reveal that Ultron is off world, or I guess off universe. He's not in this
hopping
realm.
dimensions.
He's hopping dimensions, so the upload didn't work. Do you guys think we're gonna see this version of Natasha again? I mean, clearly not Hawkeye. He didn't want to live anymore.
We will see Natasha again.
Natasha.
Yes, because this is the culmination. She's alive.
Okay.
Her and Zola is kicking. And if anything, I think we know where this is culminating to, right?
A multiverse war.
Yeah.
Similar to that, but
Close to
essentially, think about all the cool characters we've seen. I think they're all coming back together. And again, we saw it in the promo.
Yeah, I think there's going to be part 2 of this episode, next episode.
Yes.
It has to be. There's no way they can end
what
it
are we
here.
What are we talking about? Like, they're just going to cut and just do like a whole other universe and just not talk about this
What if
anymore.
Spider-Man became Venom? That's the
Oh,
final
that's cool.
episode.
Hey,
It's a cool episode, but you can't follow that after this.
Natasha's gonna have to come back because, we know ScarJo's not coming back for sure.
No, she's not coming
Oh
back.
yeah, no, she's
Oh, yeah.
gone.
Yeah, so it's
Lady's
probably
gone.
gonna. Oh no. I think.
I mean, they can still
misunderstood
do
the
Black
question.
Widow type of stuff in What If. They just won't have ScarJo to
Live
voice
action,
them.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not going to cry about it.
I mean, I'm fine. But yeah, no,
I'm content.
we're totally gonna see the What If Avengers teaming up for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we think we're gonna see Gamora in the Thanos outfit?
Well, she's the only one. She's the only one we haven't seen.
I thought that was the next episode.
That should be the next episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see any new characters in this next episode.
Well, because the thing is that we haven't seen. Well, we've practically seen everyone that has been promoted in anything What If related. So, up until this episode, the last two remaining characters that we haven't seen were Ultron with the Infinity Stones and Gamora in Thanos's armor. So we got Ultron now. So, I mean, maybe we might get her. We might. I don't know.
We're totally gonna get her. Why would they tease her?
Right. Yeah. They already showed
I
her.
guess.
She exists.
But will she be influential? Will it just be like, oh, that's Gamora with just to explain something? Probably, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine her being in that armor and not having her own ulterior motive. I assume because she's wearing that armor, she's probably gonna try to portray them and get the stones for herself. If she is channeling Mad Titan vibes, and she's gonna be the wild card.
And that's another thing too. From which universe do we think this Gamora is from? Is she from the universe where Thanos is chilling out with T'Challa in bars, or is she this universe's Gamora where they got Thanos got sliced down the middle like a sandwich?
Probably.
I'm gonna assume that. You think it's that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that. Just because I don't think if they would have brought her in any of the previous universes, they would have done it already. And I think as far as it would make sense. I mean, he literally just sliced her dad in half. Why wouldn't she have a motive? I don't know. And she probably was after the glove anyway, so she's probably like, he took the stones. Fuck. I don't know. It could be anything.
Right. I think it's more I want to say it has to be the T'Challa episode, just because why would if it's the Gamora from this week's episode, why would Gamora this is Thanos with the stones, so you can assume probably the same sequence of events happened where he killed her family, he trained her, tortured her, all that stuff. Why would she come back in his armor? She hates the man.
Yeah,
right.
That makes sense.
She hates him. Whereas in the T'Challa episode, we don't know at what point T'Challa convinced Thanos to kind of stop his Mad Titan vibes. He could have convinced him really early on where he had no effect on Gamora whatsoever, and now Gamora's the psychopath in that universe instead. So now she's giving off mad. What's her species name? She's not a Titan.
Oh,
I forgot.
No, I don't know her species. No.
Mad Gamora vibe. There you go.
They all died.
Sure.
I don't know.
But no, I'm definitely excited for the finale. It's gonna be a multiversal event. I wasn't expecting that with What If. For at least its first season, because now it's you're confirmed for a season 2. So what are you gonna build up to in season 2? Maybe these events might carry over in there. I don't know.
It kind of makes me wonder, is this gonna bleed into anything we've seen already prior to What If? As far as the individual stories, Loki, I feel there was a lot of things in Loki that
Loki definitely led into this.
Yes,
Loki's events caused this stuff to happen.
Yeah, that referenced this extremely hard. So I was we're getting into a realm of where the Infinity Stones are just being that's, by the way, that's the theme of this too. All we've gotten is Infinity Stones since Loki all the way up until this episode. So I'm okay, I guess they're making the Infinity Stone seem like a pebble compared to what we're supposed to be, waiting for, because the Watcher's extreme. And then we have I already forgot their names. Timekeepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the Timekeepers, it's just now we're getting into the next level of the MCU universe, and we're going and we're getting to the very god tier fights at this point.
They keep introducing the next level, the next power-ups.
Yeah, and then
Like-
now it's all like coming together too.
No,
Like,
yeah, it's
making
coming together.
sense now. Like before, I was like, none of these stories is like making any fucking sense to me. Like ever since like Loki, and then I'm like, okay, I just don't understand. Like, I guess you can say like WandaVision, and I was like, what? How could this tie into anything I need to fucking know? This explains a lot. Like this one episode, I feel was just the big tie together for it all.
No, I definitely can see that, because I mean we still have Doctor Strange and what was the other movie? Spider-Man No Way Home. And I mean those movies clearly deal with the multiverse.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see any references to the stuff that's going on right now? Like are we gonna see a live action Ultron Vision? Just, you know, a reference, or maybe like we see him at some point in any of these movies? No.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think so. I feel like that's It's just, I don't know how you're gonna be able to live action that.
I think we're gonna focus on Khan.
Kamala?
Con.
I know. Kang? You think about Kang?
Yeah,
Kang.
Oh, Kang.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much going to explain. All this is going to be about him. In the end.
Kang
This
is a
is
part
all
of
gonna
all
be about
this. I mean,
Right,
yes,
he is.
but that's the thing. They're all coming together. There's no way, because one, this is why Marvel Studios produced What If and made What If, because this show is going to bleed into the greater MCU for sure.
Oh,
It
yeah.
has to. Like the Watcher and his realm being infiltrated. You mean to tell me that you don't think in any part in No Way Home or Multiverse of Madness? You know what? It's the Watchers. No, who said it? Ultron said it. Ultron said it. He said anything is possible in the multiverse. He said it in this episode when he was
did
fighting
say
the
that.
Watcher.
Yeah, he did.
That's a very calculated line. You don't just write that and then have a film titled Doctor Strange
Multiverse
in the
of
multiverse
Madness.
of madness. Like, there's
They
no
have to.
way.
They have to.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I'm not expecting, you know, Ultron Vision to be rampaging throughout, you know.
Right. I don't
Doctor
need Ultron
Strange.
Vision. No.
No, but like I can see him making like a cameo, like, oh, that's you, and then that's it. You know, they move on to whatever shenanigans the movie's gonna be about. But final thoughts on this episode. I'll be honest. Aside from that BS Thanos fight, because that's probably my biggest problem with the episode, because you know it was a very an arbitrary way to get all the Infinity Stones together so that the plot can continue forward. But because the episode was so short, we didn't get like a battle with Thanos, and it just wasn't convincing. But aside from that problem, this is up there for me with the T'Challa episode 2. I really like this episode. It just did everything right. I got to see multiple characters. I got to see multiverse shenanigans going on, a multiverse battle. I liked it. I really did. I would say pretty much on the same level as episode 2 with T'Challa Star-Lord. And we're getting, you know, Dark Strange back into the fold. So that's really cool too. But how would you guys rank this among your, I guess, current ranking of What If? Because we still have one episode left. I'm thinking it's going to be just as good. Hopefully it is. But what do you guys think of this episode?
I think I don't think it's as high as T'Challa Star-Lord. That's still
Okay.
a perfect 10 for me. I'm gonna go off of what you said earlier. It needed to be longer. I think I would have liked to see some of these, you know, one shots that Ultron is doing over here a little more fleshed out, right? You know, what Thor of that universe. I guess Thor's already dead, but
I assumed, and then that's the thing. I had to assume Thor was dead already at this point.
Right. So yeah,
'Cause-
you mean to tell me Captain Marvel is the only one pushing back on Ultron doing all this? You know, I would have liked to see some more. That's opportunity for them to show some other characters of what they would have done in these situations, and they kind of went through. But you know, what stood out for this episode was Ultron versus the Watcher. They've that alone has raised a lot of questions. It shows that, you know, multiverse can be broken by, I guess, anybody with the right amount of power. And the stakes are higher now. The stakes are super high. And I would say the only part that probably, other than what I earlier said about the one shot, the only thing I didn't really care for, I don't care to see Black Widow and Hawkeye doing a thing.
Yeah.
I really don't, because it didn't matter at all. It really didn't matter.
They needed Zola to defeat Ultron. Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, it amounted to nothing.
Right.
They can't win now.
Yeah, Ultron doesn't even care about them. Ultron
He's gone.
is not
He
even
moved
on
on
their radar.
already.
Yeah,
Right.
He's gone.
He's off world. He's off universe. Oh, he's not in the foreseeable universe, you know? Like, he don't care. Why should we?
Which I guess it's a good thing for Natasha because he's gone. So what? Now there's just the Ultron army that's just sitting around doing its thing, I guess.
Which
Ultron
she has shown
robots?
she's very capable of taking out. So, but yeah,
Right.
I'm hyped for the next episode. I like seeing Dark Strange again. So, yeah, I'm excited for the next one. But this one is totally like, I'll give it it's an 8. It's an 8. It's a good episode.
Damn, an
It's
8.
high. Stop.
That's
8 is good.
Wow, that's a low ball.
That's a
No, it's
low
not.
ball. for
It
this
is
That's
not.
one.
low balling.
No,
It's 8 point-
sir.
8.5. I give you a 0.5, and that's strictly because of the Watcher. For me.
Okay.
I guess.
Everyone else, Kame, Chris, you seem to have some alternate takes.
Yeah, no, it's my favorite. I'm gonna say it's my favorite because I would say this was I guess like a really good representation of Marvel storytelling. This really made me like, oh, if they're not good at storytelling, this is like the story of tell all, like, and to do it in such a small amount of time, I think that's not a bad thing, because I think they really were just trying to get to the point. I think us being stuck on, I guess, like a Thanos fight really wouldn't have mattered, because if he won anyway, and then getting the stones, everything that comes after that is really what we should like really give a fuck about, because I mean that's like beyond power at this point, and it's getting past the point of where we already were with, you know, Thanos. Like, we already got all the extreme fights, we got the whole Infinity War scene, like we're good. Like, you know, we don't need another dramatic fight with Thanos. So I think they didn't do too bad with that. But as far as like just the episode all around compared to the previous episodes, this has been like the best for me. And with the storytelling, it was pretty spot on as far as like keeping you like, holy shit. Like the moment he heard the Watcher, like boom.
That was
Like,
good.
I
That was the
set.
best part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was set. I was like, yeah, I gotta, yep, this is my favorite.
Ray, what about you? Any final thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, so sort of piggybacking off of comedy, Chris. I couldn't disagree.
Comedy.
with- I'm sorry.
Because you a clown.
No, I did not. No, I did not. Stop
Damn, Ray.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
It's
Kame.
okay, that was funny.
Kame.
Like the Kame
Chris,
house. The Kame house.
from
Kame,
DBZ.
Chris. Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and pretend like I didn't say that.
Oh no, it's on the
Um,
record. It's too late.
I couldn't disagree with Grandmaster more. I thought this was like 9.5.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
that's
about.
the
Like,
score.
That's where it is.
Just
That's right.
It's an
Just
8.5.
I didn't say it was a bad episode. I didn't say it was a bad
We
episode.
had to
White scene
convince
alone.
you to get it to 8.5. You thought it was an 8.
Oh my gosh.
You think
it's
this is
not a
you
bad
think this is
grade.
1
It's
point
not
higher
bad.
than
It's
Captain
not
Carter?
bad.
yeah,
You think
for
this is a
real.
point higher
What
than
the
a
fuck?
C?
Oh my god, whatever.
But like just the fight scene alone, man ate a universe.
The
Like
fight
that-
scenes were good. I
Yeah.
didn't care about Natasha and Hawkeye, but that was
Yeah.
probably the best animated scenes they had in the episode.
That was
For real.
That was the best fight they had ever.
Yeah. I thought it was really good. I love the breaking of the fourth wall that Ultron does, and it's over and over again. He's breaking multiple multiverses, and that's real. To me, that was really cool. I love that he told the Watcher, like, you have all this power. You just just stay out there and fucking watch.
You just watch.
It's like, what's the matter with you?
His name's the
I
Watcher.
can't. My oath.
Who did he swear
Fucking
this
oath,
oath to?
man.
I need to know who he swore this to.
No, but I really like that. I like the action scene. I also like that it's short. Look, I don't want another Thanos fight scene. I'll be honest. I don't know who does at this point. There were 2 movies about it. The 6 hours.
Listen, I didn't want an all-out brawl. Okay, I just wanted let him use 2 stones, just something, and then Vision one-shots him still. I just can't stand him walking up, and he's like, "Hello, oh, done."
But like,
it's
if
either
you,
be instant or it was going to be drawn out. I don't think there was going to be in between.
yeah, like I don't like. It's like, do you really want him going into depth about how he destroyed these planets, how he destroyed Asgard? Like, I don't want that much detail, because they're building to something. They're building to a multiverse war, and they got a whole series to get through. They got other shows they want everybody to see. Like, we don't got time for this. That's really what.
They don't want to spend the money too.
Yeah,
We only got 30 minutes. Quick, wrap it up.
Yeah, like, I completely understand. I love the voice acting. Everything here was great, and I love. The only part that I didn't agree with was the ending. The Doctor Strange, how he's like so down to help him. I'm like, bro, this man abandoned you when you needed him.
No, but he was in a
fight.
prison. What's his other option? No, I'm gonna stay
yeah.
here and mellow in this prison.
He could have been vengeful. He could have been like, nope, if I'm in a prison and I can't enjoy anything, then you can't either.
I mean, he might still screw him over in
He's
the finale.
probably gonna screw him over.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, I could definitely see Dark Strange screwing the Watcher over because he left him there originally.
Wait,
Didn't he
But
say?
I do want to say,
Oh, go ahead.
I am excited to see how this ties into the live action series. Like, are we gonna get a Dark Strange and Multiverse of Madness? Are we gonna see
cool.
how? That would be very. I want to see how the Watchers would be in live action. I want to see if this has any implications for the Eternals. I'm really excited for that movie.
That's a big
Like, how do-
question.
Yeah, I really want to see how like the Celestials deal with the multiverses. Like, do they create them? Is this just something that exists? Like, is it because of Kang's multiple brackets? Like, because of him dying? But if he died, how does this? There's just so many questions that it leaves you. But what I like the most is I've always wondered what would happen if Ultron won, because that was a winnable
He's a cool
fight.
character in
Yeah.
Marvel. I love Ultron.
He is. That's
Yeah.
why I hated the movie.
Yeah, like,
They did him dirty.
They did him so dirty. They made him look so weak. He is not this weak in the comics.
No,
No.
he's
Godlike.
busted. He's busted.
Right.
in the
Which is
comics.
like you said though, they had a goal. They had to get through that movie. They had a story
Yeah.
to tell.
But yeah, so for me, 9.5, and I'm excited for the next episode. How many episodes does the series have? Do you guys know?
This is
like,
it,
at least
9.
we have one more after
One
this,
more.
Oh, okay.
Episode
Yeah,
9.
the finale. Oh, we are confirmed for a season 2.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah,
Real
one more
quick.
episode.
Real quick, I've noticed like there was a kind of a detail that really like clicked for me. So remember when he was like getting his ass whooped by Ultron the Watcher, and he was like, "Oh, I made an oath to I made an oath." So usually when you make oaths or contracts, it's to something or someone. Like you don't just
Right, I mentioned
oaths.
that. I would have
So-
known.
yeah. So then
Okay, so yeah, I mentioned it in one of our earlier podcasts. So in the comics, my understanding of it is Watchers are like scientists, and they have access to so advanced technology. Like, you could just rebrand worlds, and so they did this for a species. They helped out these 2 conflicting species. They gave them technologies, and they said, I think these guys are gonna improve their way of life and stuff. And they left. They came back short time later, and there was like global extinction among the 2 species. Like, they used the weapons they got from the Watchers to wipe each other out.
That's fantastic.
So
That's why they say no more.
yeah, so they
interfering.
swore an oath to each other to never interfere with affairs of the multiverse again.
I guess with each other then, not necessarily.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's an
someone
ode. It's an
had.
ode to they made to themselves because
Okay.
you know in the comics they felt responsible for the two species.
Scientists?
Yeah, and they're scientists.
Yo, do you know like where, when?
They don't really give that origin. It's kind of like the Celestials' origin. Like, you know, we have some.
They just exist.
Yeah, they just exist. Like, we don't really go into
Yeah.
what science at least even with the Celestials, you know, they experimented on genetics, but we don't even know what the Watchers experimented on and stuff.
Yeah, because where I was going with that was with Dark Strange. Remember, he in the end, the Watcher pretty much says like, I'll agree to pretty much, you know, to do this. But it sounded, I don't know if I may have misinterpreted it, but it sounded like he agreed, like his oath or whatever. Like that may have been what he was referring to. It kind of sounded the same as if he was like, I'll finally agree. I was like, did I miss something in the Doctor Strange one where they did have a conversation? Because
I think, I mean,
Yeah, because he asked Dark Strange to save his universe.
Wait, Dark Strange asked the Watcher.
To save his
Yeah.
universe, and you know, and whatever, like what or how could he, like he's like, help me. And remember, he's like, I could tell you what to do, and you wouldn't even listen. You know, remember he was saying all that.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm sure they've had another conversation since that moment, though.
Because I'm like, okay, is the Watcher now going to break his oath, or like what is the requirements for them to like actually?
Well, he said he's got to save the multiverse. He says the multiverse is in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know that, but I'm saying as far as beyond who's this oath that he's like giving it to? Like, why is he like listening to something else so hardcore? I know like the sciences, but like there's an origin to that I think they're
integrity.
Like, well, yeah, like it's just they gotta dwell on that a little bit harder. Because,
Right.
Like, why does he have such a personality? Like, where is this guy like exactly the Watcher comes from?
Well, I would feel like we would get this for sure in the final episode. So like next week.
Or season
two. Or season 2. If the guy's even alive in season 2. We don't
sure
know what's
he's
gonna
be
happen.
alive.
We don't know what's gonna happen to him. We don't know if there's more than one Watcher. We just know that there is a Watcher.
Well, he very much might just recruit people and then go watch. He's like, y'all handle this.
You do it. You're on your own. And I mean, I swore an oath. It might be an integrity thing too. He might have done something, way back when, and he's like, nope, not doing that again. I swear upon myself that I will never interfere, and that's it. Guy's being a cuck. he's a watch. No, but all right. I think we're all pretty much on the same page with how this episode was. GrandMasterHoop is entitled to his incorrect 8 out of 10.
8.5.
8.5.
Rewatch it.
Analyze
I did
it.
I think you
rewatch
might
it.
need to watch it
I
again.
did rewatch it.
Watch it backwards again, just so you understand.
Watch the sub.
It's fine.
Watch the sub. Start from episode 1. Watch all the subbed episodes, and then let us know. But fantastic. I would say that wraps up this week's episode of the Yonkō Table. Wherever you're listening to this, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you hyped for Vision, Ultron? What are your expectations for episode 9, the final episode for season 1? And what do you want out of a season 2? Do you want longer episodes? Do you think the pacing is just fine as is? Leave these episodes to be like 20 to 30 minutes long. Let us know your thoughts. And if you liked what we had to say, share it around, give it a like, because we're on practically every social media platform at the Yonkō Table on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. If you want to see our lovely faces, except for Ray. Ray's camera shy today, unfortunately. But
you're welcome.
That wraps up this week's episode of the Yonkō Table. I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, fellow Yonkō GrandMasterHoop, fellow Supernova Kame Chris, and fellow Supernova Ray signing off. Take care, everyone.